The Man with the Hoe, written after seeing Millet's world-famous painting of a brutalized toiler by Edwin Markham. So, not the sort of piece that we hear written nowadays with similar words. God made man in his own image. In the image of God made he him. Genesis. But in Barashit, that's not quite how you translate it, because there's implications there that we look like God, and that's not really what the word says. It's like the reflection, right? Bound by the weight of centuries he leans upon his hoe and gazes on the ground, the emptiness of ages in his face, and on his back the burden of the world, who made him dread to rapture and despair, a thing that grieves not and that never hopes. Stolid and stunned, a brother to the ox, who loosened and let down this brutal jaw. Whose was the hand that slanted back this brow? Whose breath blew out the light within this brain? Is this the thing the Lord God made and gave to have dominion over sea and land, to trace the stars and search the heavens for power, to feel the passion of eternity? Is this the dream he dreamed, who shaped the suns and marked their ways upon the ancient deep, down all the caverns of hell to their last gulf? There is no shape more terrible than this, more tongued with censure of the world's blind greed, more filled with signs and portents for the soul, more packed with danger to the universe. What gulfs between him and the seraphim, slave of the wheel and labor? What to him are Plato and the swing of Pleiades? What the long reaches of the peaks of song, the rift of dawn, the reddening of the rose? Through this dread shape the suffering ages look. Time's tragedy is in that aching stoop. Through this dread shape, humanity betrayed, plundered, profaned, and disinherited, cries protest to the judges of the world, a protest that is also prophecy. O masters, lords and rulers in all lands, is this the handiwork you give to God, this monstrous thing distorted and soul-quenched? How will you ever straighten up this shape, touch it again with immortality, give back the upward looking and the light, rebuild in it the music and the dream, make right the immemorial infamies, perfidious wrongs, immitigable woes? O masters, lords, and rulers in all lands, how will the future reckon with this man? How answer his brute question in that hour, when whirlwinds of rebellion shake all shores? How will it be with kingdoms and with kings, with those who shaped him to the thing he is, when this dumb terror shall rise to judgment the world, after the silence of the centuries? And the Pleiades, I guess is how most people pronounce it, is typically thought of as 7 stars representing 7 sisters, but I've seen it as 11. Some people in ancient times saw it as 12, and there was actually over 100. I forget how many stars are actually in the Pleiades, but yeah, it does look like there's... I've met people who said that they saw 9. But see, God has reflected certain qualities and powers, and how we use those, because people are like, well, we're made in God's image, and what. But that's the whole, what if God was one of us and all that stuff.
But these problems, again, they're not God, they're us.